Today, following the release of documents showing the automaker Toyota may have put profits above safety, U.S. government officials are now pledging to, quote, hold Toyota's feet to the fire. The documents indicate that Toyota executives bragged about delaying investigations into defects, thereby saving Toyota over $100 million. U.S. auto safety officials say the design flaws have been linked to 37 deaths. Congress will begin public hearings into Toyota this week, and one of the documents getting a lot of attention, a Toyota executive notes the savings in delaying the recalls and called it a win for Toyota. The Obama administration's Department of Transportation released this statement today. It's not just the federal government's job to catch safety defects, it's the responsibility of automakers to come forward when there is a problem. Unfortunately, this document is very telling. Joining us is Randy Roberts, the attorney for Linda Hardy, whose husband Monty was killed in a crash in a Toyota Avalon, one of the recalled models. What do you make of the documents that are coming out today, Randy?
These documents are very troubling. In this particular case, in which Mr. Hardy and 3 other people were killed, the Hardy family had taken their car in 3 different times to try and have the accelerator problem fixed. Each time the dealership told them that they couldn't find anything wrong or that everything looked fine. If it turns out that if Toyota had shared this information with consumers, and in particular their dealers, earlier on, these lives could have been saved. That's a pretty serious situation.
Randy, what do you want the government to do in addition to these congressional hearings? Do you want a criminal investigation? Where do you want this to go?
I think a criminal investigation is going to be necessary if it turns out that Toyota knew what the problem was long before they started their recall.
To be fair, automakers, when they can avoid a recall, that does save them, that does help essentially with their profit margin and at a very critical time in the industry. So is it possible that members of Congress are reading too much into these emails and perhaps taking it out of some context?
Well, there's always a possibility that people are reading things out of context, and that's what the hearings are for. But it's been my experience that the automakers do everything they can to delay government action, to stifle government action, or to come up with basically recalls that don't really fix the real problem.
Randy, if you had the opportunity to ask a question or two of Akio Toyoda, the head of Toyota, who's set to testify this week, what would you ask him?
Why didn't Toyota adopt the brake override feature that so many American manufacturers adopted when they went to the electronic throttle control system? You see, I believe you're going to find that there are a lot of reasons for these unintended accelerations, but the reason you don't see them causing serious accidents with American-made and many foreign-made vehicles is because they adopted a brake override that essentially means that when you apply the brake, it controls the car. You don't have that in many of these Toyota vehicles. In other words, the brake does not necessarily stop the car when the throttle is out of control on a lot of these Toyota vehicles. So my question would be, why didn't you adopt that safety feature that so many other manufacturers thought was necessary for protecting the American public?
See what he gets asked. Randy Roberts, the attorney for Linda Hardy, whose husband Monty was killed in a crash in a Toyota Avalon, one of the vehicles that was recalled. Mr. Roberts, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.